Hi everyone. I'm making this video today to tell you guys the truth about what I've been going through for the last 7 months as Miss Grand International. I know this is gonna come as a shock to a lot of you, my decision to step down and return my crown and give up my title. But I also know at the same time that a lot of you knew something wasn't right. You could sense, you know, I read all the comments, so I know a lot of you could tell that my reign wasn't going very, very well, and there were issues with the organization on their end, and I just want to be completely transparent for all of you. I want you to know the reasoning behind this. You've supported me so much, even now, and you deserve to know the truth. And more than that, I'm doing this because there are so many girls all over the world who have the same dream that I did when I entered this competition, and I wanted to win the first crown for India, and I did win the first crown for India. And I want those girls to know the truth about this organization, about the people who have created this system, and I want them to understand what they're signing up for. Because when I started and when I joined and when I won, nobody told me, nobody warned me, and I had to figure it out on my own. And I don't want any other girl to find herself in the same position that I've been in, because these have been the worst few months of my life. I have been at rock bottom. The last time I was truly happy was the night I won. And since then, it's just been going downhill. It's been getting worse and worse. And I've spent the last few months just completely depressed and alone, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So I want you to know the truth, and it's taking a lot of courage to, first of all, give up the crown that I worked so hard for, and then also to talk about it so openly. But I don't want anyone else to be in the same position as me. So that's why I'm doing this. You all know how much effort I put into this dream of winning, how hard I worked from the beginning. And that's true for so many girls who join. And all I've gotten in return is just constant harassment, mental torture, mistreatment, and it's on a systemic level. Like, I don't think they can ever change this. So I want you to know what I've gone through, and I want you to know how much I've been and that's true for so many girls who join. And all I've gotten in return is just constant harassment, mental torture, mistreatment, and it's on a systemic level. Like, I don't think they can ever change this. So I want you to know what I've gone through, and I want you to know how much I've been silently struggling behind my smile. And I know it's seemed like everything is okay, but like, you have to make it look that way when the whole world is watching you and there's always just cameras on you. It's like, you have to seem like everything is okay, but I want you to know the truth now. And I'm gonna tell you everything in this video. First of all, when I joined the competition, I had absolutely no idea that countries were paying for votes, okay? And then the Miss Grand International organization happily accepts them in the form of votes or in the form of, donations. And you guys don't know that. And of course, like, when I found out, like, we couldn't afford to pay for the votes, we didn't have that knowledge, and that's why it was so difficult to compete in terms of votes. You guys know when I was in the personal interview, Nawat asked me, why do you not have votes? And it's because I wasn't paying to buy votes like every other person was. And honestly, like, it's not even their fault. Like, of course, if they have the option, why wouldn't they do it? Like, everybody wants to win. And the countries who've paid huge amounts of money for votes or for donations, like, of course, if their girl doesn't win, they would be upset because they've basically paid for it and they expect something in return. Nothing is promised, but they expect that, yeah, we've paid, we'll get some return on it. And I don't blame the countries at all. Like, everybody's doing what they can to win, but it is the organization's fault for accepting this and for setting this standard. Because what about the girls who can't afford it? What about the countries who can't afford it, or the national directors who don't know about it, or who don't have access to those kinds of funds, like me? Truly, the only reason I won, despite all of this voting and all of this that was happening, the only reason I won is because of the amount of public support I had. I mean, I think about it now and it still gives me goosebumps, the way people cheered for India, and the way, like, if you asked anybody, they would say they were rooting for India. And on social media and in Thailand, in real life, there was just so much support for me, and I'm so grateful for that, because that is truly the only reason that I won. Honestly, I want you to think about all the franchises and the national directors who lost their licenses this year, or who gave it up or whatever. Like, it's actually insane, the number of directors who've been in the business for years and they chose to give up their license. Why do you think that is? Who do you think the problem here is, the common problem? I mean, truly, it is impossible to work with the Miss Grand International organization. The way they are, the way they treat people, they only care about money. Like, that is their only thing. And I'm